Hello, and this is Mrs. Tomlinson. Welcome to week 5, and this week our focus is concrete poetry and graphic communications. Your concrete poetry is a visual poem where typography or text is placed in a particular arrangement to create a visual image. And if you don't know what concrete poetry is, I'm sure you all have probably seen it somewhere, or even in maybe a creative writing class or your English class. Here are some examples of concrete poetry, and we're really going to think about typography and text and how you can use that to communicate an image that has to do with your poem. Here's George Herbert's Easter Wings, and this was an older poem printed in 1633 on 2 facing pages, and there's 1 stanza per page. And it's printed sideways so that the lines would call to mind birds flying up with outstretched wings. This is John Hollander, Swan and Shadow. This is Ode to My Foot, and you can see the whole poem is in the shape of a foot. You can learn more about typography, and I really suggest that you watch this video attached here to learn about typography and how it has its fabulous place in graphic design and how important it is. So now we want to think about how can artists communicate their ideas using typography. Here's an example of a student who used the theme of discrimination to create their concrete poem. And when you look at this, I kind of want you to think about how they used color to communicate their ideas and help the viewer read the text. If everything was all the same color, it probably wouldn't mean the same thing, and the message wouldn't come across the same way. This piece is called Character Before Color. And you can see the colors are really simple. There's only 3 colors. You have white, which is your negative space in the background, but red, blue, and black. And if they had any more colors, you might not connect certain text. So that's why the simplicity of the colors are really important. So don't worry about putting too many colors into your concrete poem. This is a really neat postmodern poem that's animated, and it really helps you get the idea of how typography is used to create imagery. So you can go back and listen to this and watch it. So now we're thinking of how a media artist can communicate their ideas using typography. This is a fabulous contemporary Bay Area artist, and he intersects language and technology, and he draws his inspiration simultaneously from video artist pioneers of the 70s and the internet. So this is Jesus Aguilar, and he examines how communication functions in the 21st century, and he questions a lot of things, and he does some really, really interesting things using typography, text, communication, and technology. So this is right up our alley for the media arts and communications. So go back and listen to this video, and he talks all about his latest projects and one of his big shows. And then I want you to answer these 3 questions. You can even make a copy of the slide and answer your questions within the slide. But we want to think about which pieces you're drawn to and what you thought about the whole exhibit. And then how does Jesus manipulate language in typography? And then how he uses technology in different ways to communicate different ideas. So your challenge for this project is to write a poem containing words, rhyme, rhythm, or rhythm that focuses on the subject of technology. So you're encouraged to make connections to other disciplines. So you can connect technology to any other thing, maybe something that's personal to you, something that interests you. So respond to these 4 questions so you can start helping you generate your ideas. Think about how you use technology in your life. How does technology make your life easier? Or how does technology make your life more difficult? And how is technology connected to other things in our lives? For me, if I were to reflect on technology in my life, I feel like it has a big connection with time. And sometimes it makes time it helps me move things faster and it helps me save time. But then another sense, I feel like sometimes I use technology. If I overuse it, I feel like I waste time. So I feel like there's this bitter balance, I feel like, that I'm always trying to achieve with technology in my life. And I think that would be probably for me, that would be where I would run with this: technology and time and balance and something like that, to that extent. So, based on your responses to the previous questions, create a list of words that are associated with the idea that you want to make your own work about. So, this is where a mind map or a word web would be really, really useful. So, you could write down those ideas and those words. So, now that you have your poem, you've got your context of what you're going to talk about, bring it into Photopea or Google Drawings and then turn it into an actual concrete poem. Here are as wonderful resources to learn Photopea. And if you click this link right here, it'll take you to learn all about how you can do text in Photopea and how you can create a type layer, and edit a type layer. Then you can click this Flipgrid link and you can reflect on how you created your concrete poem. And there's questions that you can answer in the Flipgrid. And then this is really fun. You guys have probably seen these word art websites. So they're called, this is word art, and you can make a word cloud. So you can even go to the website and follow this tutorial when you're all done. And you can even use the same words that you did and see what this computer generates. See what the website generates for you. It'll be kind of a neat comparison. I love to see both of them. So happy concrete poems.